talking with Lance Reddick from Fringe today. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today.
Great. So to get ready for your role on Fringe, did you read up a little bit on Fringe science?
Wow. No, I actually haven't even looked up Fringe science. Is it a real thing, or was it made up for the show?
No, it's a real thing.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I did a little Wikipedia research before, so it's legitimate. Are any of the phenomenons that have been featured on the show interesting to you?
Wow. So many of the things that have happened on the show are interesting to me. Everything from chemical, biological warfare to alternate universes, to genetic engineering of kind of super soldiers. All that stuff I find fascinating, and I believe has some basis in reality.
Mm-hmm. Have you become a little bit more of a conspiracy theorist based on your time with Fringe?
Well, quite frankly, I didn't need Fringe to be a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I feel like that the term has gotten such a bad rap, and I don't think that it's unreasonable to think that the relationship between governments and corporations and how the military is used, and that what they're really doing versus what they inform the general public, that there may be a gap.
Yeah, maybe just
I don't think it's unreasonable to think that.
No, no, I agree. What's it been like to work with J.J. Abrams again?
Wow, it's so great. It's just so cool working on the J.J. Abrams show, because first of all, the shows are so wild, and as similar as they are. Well, first of all, Fringe and Lost, they're similar mainly only in that they're so wild and they've got such complex mythologies. Yeah. But beyond that, they're as different as apples and oranges. And so it's great to work on a show that's got such a complex mythology and that has such interesting character development, and where, quite frankly, I've gotten to play two such very different characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the mythology, will there be more of a focus on mythology and less case of the week this season, or?
Well, there will be more. There will definitely be more of See, I don't know that there'll be more of a focus on mythology, but there will be at least as much. The mythology will definitely unfold more. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a flower, and kind of what stage of opening it is, and it will open up much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go from bud stage to broader.
Yes.
Do you have a preference between serialized and procedurals?
I personally prefer serialized. I mean, that's almost all I watch. I'm not a big procedural guy in terms of what I like to watch. But by the same token, the way it's done on this show is just so interesting. I mean, I think the only procedural show that I ever really got into, and I didn't watch it on a regular basis, but that was just because of timing, was, interestingly enough, was X-Files. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting indeed.
But what made that show for me so interesting was that they managed to make each case so different, and the acting and the quality of the acting and the relationship between the two leads was so what is the word I'm looking for? Just so interesting.
Yeah, there's something electric about that.
Yeah, electric. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Well, you have quite an electric moment in this first premiere as well.
Yes.
And as someone who's watched, it was still surprising, which I love JJ for. Where do you think that the connection with Nina comes from?
I have a feeling that Broyles was very much like Olivia at one point in his career. And this is me speculating now. I think it's, when you've got, I think in his day he was a maverick, and I think he kind of still is. But I mean, now it's different because he's kind of in charge. Yeah. And he's kind of part of the. But I think when you've got two people who are very powerful, and I don't just mean in terms of their status in the world, but I mean in terms of their personalities and their intellects, and they're in an intense working situation, and they're really drawn to each other. It's going to it's going to make an intense relationship. Yeah. And if they continue to have a working relationship long after that is over, very often remnants, especially if they're still caring there. there remnants are going to be there. And so in an intense moment, like, you know, Broyles on the steps of the Senate about to have the division that he's been a part of and that he's been fighting for and in charge of for years, maybe about to close, and Nina's there to support him, it's going to kind of pop out like that.
Do you think in an alternate universe they have a very domestic relationship?
Wow. Well, we've already seen one. First of all, when you talk about alternate universes, I think there's definitely more than we just happen to be in this show. We just happen to be just dealing with one alternate universe. In one universe, I don't know. Maybe Broyles and Nina do have kind of a domestic relationship. In the alternate that we've seen, which was just a kind of a glimpse that Olivia had in a deja vu moment back in episode 116, Broyles was still married to his now ex-wife. So,
what connects you to your role on Fringe?
Wow. Well, do you mean how does Lance, the actor, personally connect to Broyles?
Yeah.
And
how it kind of is different than your other major roles?
Wow.
That's a big question.
Well, in terms of my personal connection to the guy, it's interesting. So often when I do something, I try to, you know, as actors, particularly character actors, you're always trying to be so, you know, different from what you've done before and different from yourself. But in order to make it real, you've got to try to find something of yourself in the character. And I think, not as much as Broyles, but I can be kind of intensely focused and studious in the area that I'm really serious about or really believe in. A quality that I think Broyles has that I try to bring, and in some ways I think Broyles has it more than I do, is kind of an inner stillness. Like a lot of men or people, excuse me, men and women who've been cops or soldiers, very often there's a well of rage that allows them to be great warriors, and I think that he has that, and I have that.
Yeah. Is there, let's see, what else can we expect for Broyles this season? Seems like he's going to be doing a lot of growing and changing.
Yeah, I think Broyles is growing a lot. I mean, we're about to start shooting episode 8. Episode 6 is it's basically a Broyles episode.
Okay.
When you find out, you get to meet his ex-wife, and you find out more about how and why his marriage ended. And you get to see, at one point in the episode, you actually get to see a side of him that you never see. He smiles, he's having fun.
That should be a nice change for you to play.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun to do, yeah.
What are you most excited for this season?
What I'm most excited for this season is just finding out what's going to happen. I mean, well, two things. One, I'm excited to be doing a lot more, to be in the field more, and to have more of my character revealed. But I'm really excited to find out what's going to happen, because just so far, I mean, we're about to start shooting episode 8, and it's, you know, it's in that episode we're finding out more about the observers, and I just finished reading it yesterday on the plane in, and it was so exciting. I was like, I want to see the next episode. What's going to happen next?
That's great. It must be, sounds like the best job in the world.
It's a great job. It's a great job.